All right, so when I really started this presentation, I thought about, what are jobs that will be safe post AI? And yeah, sure, you can just go get a job and add AI to it and get that 25 to 40% boost. But I'm a data engineer. I integrate AI with data. I do API programming, and then I also have to make sure all that's up and running, right? And in order for any of that to work, I need somebody who's a plumber to make sure the water's running in the cooling unit. I need to be sure there's an electrician that can run power when we need a power drop in the data center. I've got people who are splicing cables and you name it. All of those jobs are supporting the AI boom, right? And all of these core ones here, the data engineers, the integration developers, API programmers, operations, the security, right? Those jobs are going to be here whether if AI replaces whoever or not, at least in my opinion. That's all I have for you today. I really appreciate everyone showing up and supporting me, and I'll open the floor to questions. Okay. An ethics officer doesn't sound like entry level, sure. So, an AI ethics officer, right, can be entry level in the fact that they don't have them. So, that's really what I meant by that. I'm not sure that I would necessarily call it entry level from a perspective of get the job when you're 16, but I think it's uh, a new career path, right? And I think if you just have the AI skill set and and you have the ethics background, right? Maybe you took some ethics courses in college or university. I think you could apply those with a brief understanding of AI and go get an entry level AI ethics officer career. Great question. So, how does AI figure into SIM and source? So, that's a near and dear one to my heart. Thanks. Appreciate that, Peter, and I appreciate you being here to support me. Um, Well, I think AI is going to help with the analyst, right? The first tier analyst, second tier analyst. It can do a lot of things that the we would normally do in these playbooks and SOAR response playbooks, right? Um, uh, we could automate it ourselves, but you could help with a little bit of AI helping you decide what would I do with this data. Say it's an IP address. I know maybe I want to do a reverse lookup on that. I need to do this next step, etc. But if you're new to SIM or SOAR, the AI can help you understand the basic concepts. It can help you, take a piece of data and understand what use cases might be surrounding that data. And I feel like that's really where AI will figure into that market, Peter. So thanks for that question. I think it's really going to help people learn cybersecurity. All right, favorite use case of AI in cybersecurity? Okay, I really like the automated pen testing that my buddies over at Horizon 3 AI are doing. They've got agent you deploy in your environment, and it does uh, a plethora of attacks. Right, it tries to spread out. It looks for all the vulnerabilities, but if it finds a vulnerability, it keeps going and it finds the next vulnerability. And a small little printer FTP server might actually lead to a much more persistent threat in your environment. And having AI run through it, they just completed one of those tests that it takes a crackpot cybersecurity guy or a team of people maybe a week to do it. They did it in minutes with AI. So there's all these tests that they're running it through now, and in each case, it's so much faster than humans running through the same scenario. I really think it's also going to help with the time it takes to solve problems in cybersecurity, right? So it's just going to be so much quicker now that we have it. All right, how have you implemented AI in your company as a founder? Okay, well, I like vibe coding. I'm with Peter on that. It's a lot of fun. So I've created a website You check it out as bentleypc.com. That's my consulting website. And if you try to get to the code on the back end, for example, it drops you into an arcade. So you end up playing Space Invaders or something when you thought you were going to steal my JavaScript. So that's just one way I use it, right, in marketing. But I'm not really using it for any security use cases, et cetera. I rely on human talent for that right now. What was the most recent AI focused role that you hired? Okay. Yeah, it's got to be prompt engineering. I mean, that's just what everybody wanted. That was the last thing I went through the process with. I needed somebody who could um, not just prompt engineering, but the auditing behind the prompting, right? So it's more of like an auditing. How are we using Chat GPT? So show me, what the users are doing. Show me if they're exfiltrating data. It was really a multifaceted role that was more than just security, but it needed some development to pull in the data, things like that. But they called it a prompt engineer for whatever reason.
Thank you so much, Michael, for being here today.